I don't know, I like to think of them as like the heir of Gandhi. The Gandhi heir, who's going to take up the nuclear throne? It's turn 100. There's a lot of things that have happened. I really need to cover a ton of things right now, so let's just jump right into it. Now, the first thing I want to cover is this Danish Longboat. I completely forgot these. They have the ability, right? They can deep sea sail. I think so. Obviously. All right, now there's massive wars going on in Africa. That should be no surprise right now. It doesn't look like anybody is too out in front. Well, actually, Mali definitely is. Mali's taken a ton of cities away from Morocco, and that has definitely helped his case as the strongest power out of sub-Saharan Africa. There's still been no war between the Zulu and the Congo, which is pretty surprising, but I love that the Congo got up the Great Wall, so that's kind of perfect to keep Shaka out of there because, yeah, those MPs, boy, ooh. You better watch them. Now, I don't know how long they've been at war, but Spain and Portugal have been getting into it, clearly. So Braga was lost to from Maria to... Who is leading you? I don't even remember. Oh boy. Okay, Murray. Yeah, we just saw the Australian civilization die right before our very eyes. That's not a big surprise, and they clearly control all of Western Australia now. But the surprise here is Indonesia, man. I am so happy that Indonesia is doing good because I called them out for sucking pretty much every other AI-only game, but they're doing better now. It looks like they're getting ready to invade Siam, which would be pretty cool. Now, Siam and the Champa did get into it briefly, I noticed, but I don't think anything happened because of it. For the most part, I think the Indian subcontinent still looks the exact same. There's probably going to be a lot more wars that take place because these are, I don't know, I like to think of them as like the heir of Gandhi. The Gandhi heir, who's going to take up the nuclear throne? That's a game, right? Nuclear Throne? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, okay. The Middle East seems to have, you know, a new power here out of Armenia, which makes sense because, you know, these mountains really keep Armenia super safe. But the Ottomans also found a way to settle Bursa. Yeah, I said it right. Out here. Rome now has control over Sicily and Sardinia, which is pretty good. But, you know, the Alps kind of keep them from really engaging too much in European conflicts. And Scotland is doing their thing, man. Scotland seems to be the great power out of Europe at the moment. They destroyed England, actually. I watched them do it. They gave them a little song as they killed the final Englishman, and it was pretty sad. And now they're currently at war with the Dutch, which is pretty interesting, especially because they're warring over Iceland. Well, they're not really, but I bet you that kind of helps the AI be like, yeah, you know what, I don't want this because, you know what, William, the Dutch got a hold of both the elephants on the Iceland island. How freaking dare they, right? Obviously, I haven't really been watching all the wars that are going on, but France is invading the Dutch right now. And obviously, the Dutch have their hands full with Scotland. They've already lost one colony, which low in key, something like that. One of those islands up in the north. Yeah, this is pretty bad for William. You might lose everything, dude. But speaking of civilizations that might be losing everything, hello, Korea. What's going on with you? No, I'm just kidding. They might not. They might stay alive, possibly. But China has done a pretty big number here, taking 2 northern Korean cities away. I can't tell which war is going to be bigger. The inevitable, I hate saying that word because I can't say it, the Zulu versus the Congo or the Mongolians versus the Chinese, because both of those powers look like they're brewing. There's going to be a continental war that faces off here soon, I think. Now, I really like what's going on in Eastern Europe right now because there's like 4 walls, like 3 or 4 walls basically made up by civilizations. We've got Poland walling off Western Europe from everybody else. We have this kind of Kievan Rus wall, and then we just have a blob of Russia, just a big blob of Russia. I don't know what I'm saying. So it looks like the Russians are moving in after Armenia. So are the Timmies. The Timmies, yeah, I'm just gonna call them the Timmies. Because, yeah, they're losing these 2 cities. Maybe they tried to expand a little bit too fast, maybe? Ooh, we've got China and the Huns working together to do the final shanking of South Korea. And Russia was able to pick up this northern Armenian city. So, yeah, that's a pretty crucial move so that they have access to the Caucasus Mountains here. And Denmark with the RKO out of nowhere, all of a sudden taking over the Dutch capital. That's a huge move, man. I'm just gonna say that right now. The Dutch, well, first of all, the Dutch dying is pretty surprising. I didn't think that was going to happen. But also just the fact that now Denmark has 4 cities in Central Europe and they're already discovering the New World. Could this be the big European power to compete against Scotland. And my apologies, I completely bypassed Austria. I don't know, sometimes I just forget them. No offense, Maria. Teresa. So yeah, Germany died over the break. We saw them take Hamburg, I think in a peace deal, and then they were invading just Berlin. So, new dynasty is formed in the east. That's cool. But yeah, looks like they were able to take the German capital. They had 4 cities, and they moved down towards Greece to take Corinth, I think. And they're still currently at it. So Austria is still trying to take Sparta now, which I'm not sure. I know that Greece has had its conflicts with Byzantium out in their east. So, you know, I don't know what's going on with the Greek military. And Timmy just also took the other Armenian city along the Caspian Sea. So Armenia, you know, they're fine. They lost some smaller cities, not a big deal, but there seems to be interesting powers between the Huns and Timmy. Definitely starting to grow. And the Korean capital has fallen, but to China, not to Japan. Sorry, Korea, but you suck. Austria just grabbed Sparta, and that means that Greece really only has Athens, and then little, you know, small cities to the south. I'm actually really starting to like what I see from Austria. She looks like she might be one of the big powers here in Europe for sure. Spain with the douchey move of settling Southern Ireland. That's not gonna make Scotland very happy. But at least you get cool music now. Some crazy things are happening in Africa. It's really hard to keep up with all of it, but Egypt just grabbed Bursa. I like what I see from the Ashanti because they've got so many coastal cities, which means they can probably easily make it to South America, but I don't think they're gonna last because Mali is real scary. Ooh, look at Poland cross the Baltic Sea to go after the Finnish capital. No, not Finland. I really like Finland. Also, the Murray now have full control over Australia because they kicked out Indonesia a few turns ago. They also started colonizing Papua New Guinea, or just New Guinea or something. I don't know, Guinea, but yeah, good for them. Oh snap, Poland just pieced out with Byzantium, taking their second biggest and best city. Wait, is that Poland? Yeah, that's Poland. I'm sorry. It's crack. Okay, talk about an RKO out of nowhere. I think everyone would have thought Poland was going to take over the Helsinki, the capital of Finland, but it looked like Kiev and Rus just kind of snuck in there and grabbed the knight. And wow, that's crazy. Yeah, these Eastern European powers are going to be, it's going to be pretty insane seeing all of these 3 civilizations fight it out. So I was just viewing over Eastern Asia, and I was like, wait a second, nobody has those colors. What boat is this? Scotland? What is Scotland doing over here discovering, like, Alaska? Martha. Martha seems to be the power growing out of southern India. That's pretty cool. And look at Siam. Oh, that is cool. Siam just trekked across basically like a quarter of the map to take on the Omani capital. I don't think he's gonna be able to do it. But that would be cool. That'd be awesome if he can. And the Vandals have been completely wiped out by Kanem Bornu, right? Kanem Bornu? Yeah, so they're gone. So that might be interesting how that's going to affect the Mediterranean. We'll see. The Moors also lost Cordoba, which means Morocco now technically controls the Strait of Gibraltar, which in this scenario doesn't really matter because there's also Carthage, there's also Spain, and Portugal that all have tiles controlling this pass. The Dutch, unfortunately, also just fell. RIP Dutch. So France better get ready because Scotland is gonna be coming for them. That's for sure. And yes, obviously Scotland was able to unify Iceland, and I'm sure they're really loving those elephants now. Those musket men are doing something to that elephant. Yeah, totally disregard the American nuclear submarine that is up here. But look at the Denmark. Look at the Danish right here with a bunch of longboats. Really discovered. They're like the only ones that are discovering right now the new world. Let's talk about Madagascar. I don't think I've mentioned this, but yeah, I'm really proud. Ethiopia got here first, actually. You can actually tell because of the population already in these cities. But the Congo and the Zulu, of course, got in on the fun. So this region of the earth always holds one of the biggest powers in the game. We still don't know who it's gonna be between the Zulu, the Congo, and maybe even Ethiopia. Obviously, people really don't like Babylon right now. I'm sorry, little buddy. I really like what the Champa are doing right now. They have all coastal cities, and if no one else is going to colonize southern China, they might as well. I'm actually surprised no one has taken up this territory yet, so good for the Champa. But look what's going on in Eastern Asia. I like what I see right here. I don't think they're at war just yet. I don't think, but yeah, the Japanese and the Chinese look like something really big is going to happen now that Korea's been destroyed. I also really like this compacted Roman Empire that we see. They literally got every single island that they can next to the Mediterranean. They now have Corsica, and I forgot what this one is called, but I feel ashamed. I'm sorry. I'll figure it out. It looks like the Cholas are officially gone. Their Sharpie eyebrows and their talky little snacks are, they ate their last, I guess. All right, I just noticed the Murray are going freaking insane in Indonesia and in Australia. I mean, man, I thought we were gonna see a good game from Indonesia themselves, but there does seem to be a pretty big invasion going on right before our very eyes. Oh man, this is a big deal. This is a really big deal. France just grabbed Braga, the former Spanish city. This means France definitely has the potential now, I think, of being the other Western European power outside of Scotland, because if they can keep a hold of this city, then obviously they can just eat up all of these very weak civilizations in Iberia. It's video 3, and we've already made it probably about 33% into the campaign, but I'd love to know who you guys think is your top 3. I always like asking these questions because there's some pretty crazy different answers. For me, I think for sure, probably me, the Murray, gotta be number 1. I really like what they're doing in Australia. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.